Today on the CTV News at 5, a hearing has begun in the disturbing murder of a Vulcan senior. Plus, why Lethbridge University students are living in a cardboard box this week. And celebrating 70. A Southern Alberta couple reveals the secret of staying married for 70 years.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A hearing is now underway in a Lethbridge courtroom into the gruesome murder of a Vulcan senior. 36-year-old Timmy Engel is the Claresholm man charged in the kidnapping and murder of 77-year-old Otto Bunty Luce just over a year ago. Terry Vogt has been at the Lethbridge courthouse sitting in on the hearing. Terry, what's the latest?
Well, Jackie, this preliminary hearing is scheduled to last all week, but we're told that it could wrap up by Wednesday or Thursday. Preliminary hearings are held to determine if there's enough evidence to go to trial. But I'm also told that Timmy Engel's defense lawyer, Karen Molly, wants to see what the witnesses have to say in order to help prepare her defense case. Engel is facing two charges. One is first-degree murder. The other is indignity to a human body. Family members say 77-year-old Otto Bunty Luce was a man who liked to have fun and a good visit.
Everybody knew him for his laugh. He was a very social man. He liked sitting and visiting with people and having a couple drinks and just having a good time. He really did.
The Vulcan senior failed to return home in January of 2012. He was last seen filling up his SUV at a Vulcan service station. Then his vehicle was located in Calgary. RCMP say someone tried to access his bank account. A few days later, Luce's dismembered body was found near Claresholm. Engel was out on bail for unrelated domestic charges at the time Luce was murdered. Because of a publication ban, we can't report evidence or testimony during the preliminary hearing. The Crown is calling 16 witnesses, including investigators with the RCMP Major Crimes Unit, who did a video reenactment. Some of the victims' family members aren't allowed to attend the hearing because they're also being called as witnesses. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Last October, the Crown stayed a charge of obstructing a peace officer against Engel's former girlfriend, Bobby Jo Parks, in connection to the case. Kimberley, BC, RCMP have a 37-year-old woman in custody in connection with the death of a 47-year-old man there. Police were called to a home in Marysville, BC. It's a suburb of Kimberley, Friday afternoon. They found the man dead inside. Mounties say the woman is the victim's girlfriend. She was arrested over the weekend. Investigators have not confirmed the cause of death. The victim's identity hasn't been released. Meanwhile, Raymond RCMP are trying to locate a missing 19-year-old girl. April Dawn Dunmer was last seen at her parents' home west of the community Saturday after catching a ride to Lethbridge. She hasn't been heard from since. April was wearing gray sweatpants, black runners, and a gray and black top at the time. She's 5'5", weighs around 126 pounds, and her hair is currently blonde with red highlights. If you have any information, please contact either the Raymond RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Rescue organizations planning some fundraisers supporting Elizabeth Ginn and the Last Chance Ranch met over the weekend to coordinate support efforts. Organizers say they felt support efforts would be more effective if they were pooled together. The Last Chance Cat Ranch burnt to the ground on Tuesday. Fire investigators say early indications point to faulty wiring in the attic. Nearly 30 cats perished in the blaze. Another 29 were treated for various injuries.
It's amazing. It's very heartwarming to know that there are still those people out there that are willing to help out in somebody's time of need. Not only did Elizabeth lose everything in her house, she also lost a lot of her really, really close friends that had perished in the fire. So it's really heartwarming to see that the community has come together and are supporting to help her rebuild.
Holding a fundraiser and silent auction on April the 13th at the Legion Hall. All of the proceeds will be going towards the vet bills and Elizabeth Ginn. You can continue to donate as well to the Family Veterinary Clinic towards the cat's vet bills. Okay, Dory, what is going on in the forecast? Snow, then sun, then more snow.
Yeah, I know. It's called variety is what it's
variety.
called. Yeah. Well, you know, we're heading into spring, and this is a volatile time of year. Most years when you go back through the historical records, we've had lots of ups and downs, and that's exactly what we're having this week. There are some forecast models that are putting Wednesday's high in Lethbridge at the 17-degree mark. I've got it at 13, so I'm being a little bit conservative there, but we have that warm spell, and then we're going to be followed by another little bit of a cold snap. So I'll tell you all about it in a couple of minutes, but yeah, buckle up. It's a roller coaster ride.
I'm glad you've got it all covered. Big story. It's taken 3.5 months and 2 elections, but today, the Blood Tribe's 12th band councillor was sworn in. Kyla Crow appealed results of the band election held in November because the returning officer used a coin toss to break the tie between Crow and a relative, Robin Littlebear. A runoff election was held after the appeals committee ruled there was no way to conduct a fair and accurate recount. Meanwhile, another group of band members continues to demand that the whole election be redone. They've started a petition and say they hope to collect more than 3,000 signatures that they plan to present to Chief and Council. University students in cities and across the country are sleeping out on the streets for 5 days to raise money and awareness about homelessness.
Change.
Students at the University of Lethbridge have once again set up shop near the Students' Union building, constructing a temporary home out of cardboard. These students will be here for the next 5 days, living on only donated food and drinks while collecting donations to fight homelessness. More than 24 universities across Canada are involved in the event, which is in its 4th year.
Like through this cause, we're really looking to raise awareness about youth homelessness, because it is something they don't have too many statistics when it comes to that. So raising awareness about Woods Homes, what they do, how they help kids in Lethbridge is kind of our big thing.
So students do have to still attend class, but have no access to shelter, running water, or food. Well, this weekend's Moonlight Run was really a testament of strength. About 2,500 runners took part in the run, including Lara Hall and her 4 children. They were running in memory of her late husband, Stephen, who was killed in an avalanche a year ago on Saturday. Brendan Miller has that story.
The final leg of the Moonlight Run was filled with emotion for Lara Hall and her children. Holding banners as they made their way to the finish line in memory of a late husband and father. After her run, Hall is showered with flowers and hugs from her children. It's been an emotional roller coaster for this family, but tonight is filled with support.
Well, they're what keep me going for sure.
It was a year ago that Stephen Hall left on a weekend snowmobile trip with his friends. He was an avid outdoorsman, highly experienced, until an avalanche took his life.
He loved his family, he loved God, and he lived life to the fullest. He lived 100% optimistic and kept going.
Lara dedicated her 10K run to Stephen, finding strength in her faith, her family, and large circle of friends.
Today obviously is a pretty special day for us to remember my husband. And a few months ago I was trying to decide, what would he want me to do today? And he wouldn't want me laying around in bed. He'd want me to get out and keep putting one foot in front of the other and living for my kids and finding joy in that.
Lara says Stephen was a devoted husband and father to their 4 children.
Her dad was full of life and he wouldn't want anything less of an example for his kids, so trying to keep that energy up and be that example for them.
And in his absence, Lara says it's her children that give her the strength to get out of bed each day. Brendan Miller, CTV News, Lethbridge.
And in another weekend recreational activity, the college's Be Fit for Life Center says despite a mild winter, getting outside and getting active should still be a top priority. This is leg 1 of the college's Winter Amazing Race. The 5-station event encouraged families to get active during the generally cold winter months. According to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, almost 60% of adults, 26% of children in Canada are considered overweight or obese. Race organizers say that's part of why they're stressing the importance of being active all 12 months of the year.
Lots of people in the winter get less active. They just stay home, stay in the house, get a little bit lazy, and in southern Alberta we have great weather here, so why not get out and get active?
At least 30 minutes of physical activity is recommended each and every day. A 25th wedding anniversary is a silver anniversary. 50th is a golden one. At 60, it's diamond. But do you even know what a 70th wedding anniversary is called? Well, tonight, Kevin Green introduces us to a Southern Alberta couple celebrating their platinum anniversary.
1943, on a warm southern Ontario evening, Harold Northcott and Janetta Osler married. The groom wore his Air Force uniform, the bride a blue dress and navy hat.
Well, blue was always a strong color for me.
They honeymooned at Niagara Falls, a young couple in love. After the war, they came back to Milo, Alberta, to the farm Janetta's parents pioneered. Flash forward 7 decades. Monday is the Northcott's 70th wedding anniversary. The young couple isn't so young anymore, but they're still just as in love.
I love her, what she's done for me and what she's going to do for me.
Well, he's still here. Yeah, we're here. We're part. We belong to each other.
The pair still live on the same land 150 kilometers east of Calgary.
And here's the combine and the tractor.
Inside the cozy farmhouse, they pore over photo albums, memories of a life and a love lasting over 3 generations.
This was in Niagara Falls.
Life here hasn't always been easy.
I think we would have gone hungry, but we had a little bit of money given to us as wedding gifts, and we used that money until we got money of our own to replace it.
But 70 years together brings riches not measured by bankers. 7 children and a crowd of grandchildren and great-grandchildren big enough to fill a hotel.
They have a great sense of humor. They're very down to earth, and they're just real people. And you know that I think some of the greatest rewards in life come from working together and helping other people and enjoying it.
In a day and age when 4 in 10 marriages end, a 7-decade union seems almost a miracle. But the Northcotts say the answer is surprisingly simple.
Just being in love with each other, I would say.
Well, you have to decide you want to do it, and you do it.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Milo, Alberta.
Congratulations. What a wonderful story. Now, there is an open house this weekend at the Milo Community Hall to celebrate the Northcotts' achievement. They tell us they're already planning for their 80th. St. Francis Junior High School is celebrating another successful final curtain. The cast of St. Francis Junior High School's Guys and Dolls acted out their final performance Sunday in the school's transformed gym. This incredible set took weeks to design and build inside the gymnasium. Each year, students bring a major play to the stage, which is no light feat.
There's no school in southern Alberta that I know will keep their phys ed program running, but yet lend the fine arts program their gymnasium for a 10-day show. There's nobody, maybe in the province. So that's how special we are and how we work together to achieve. I mean, our school motto is bringing to light the best that we can become, and we don't hold anything back. We go for it.
And onto the markets now, where there were up arrows across the board. Here's a look at how the numbers kicked off.